Is your other grand prostitute, Yuan, this person, perhaps the most important benefactor of your life's path, in no way inferior to this old man. At the time of our parting, this is a gift from me to you. Yichen gazed foolishly at the ring in his hand. He had already been gravely injured, and could not at all take an Elder Shi's advice. On the contrary, Elder Shi's actions completely enraged him. He put on a troubled face, using coercion. Do you know that my sister is leading an army of 800,000 men here? If she sees that I, her favorite brother, have been half killed by that villain Ling Xiao, do you think she'll spare the entire Qinglan sect? Only by following me can you get a chance to restore your body. Otherwise, I'll make sure you'll never see the light of day. But it is still so. Stone was still unmoved. Finally, Yichen got angry. He directly threw the broken ring far away. It was at this time Master Yuan came suddenly to comfort his dispensable apprentice. He came this time. All I need to confirm is whether Yichen's sister, the Queen of Beijing Yixiener, really led the 800,000 iron horses to come here, as Yichen said. After getting Yichen's affirmative answer, he had another idea. He decided to test this so-called beloved disciple first, so he invited the two of them to a secret place. Yichen. He stood rooted in shock at the scene before him. The corpses of righteous cultivators littered the ground. Even the son of destiny couldn't help but feel nauseous. In contrast, Yuani remained unfazed. My good disciple, these are not dead people. They are all excellent nourishment for me to increase my power. Yichen was shocked by his words. This fat pig is truly a demon of the demonic sect hidden among the azure. And Yuani is old but perceptive. He directly questions Yichen if he is willing to accompany him to visit the blood demon of heaven. If Yichen agrees, it would be a small but important thing for the demonic sect. But if Yichen refuses, either he won't survive tonight, but this could also be an opportunity for Yichen. Without the 10 elders, the heavenly widow, the Yin blood demon, is a perfect backer for him, so they agreed in the guest room. Yichen also made his signature move, a warm welcome at the orphanage. He braved dangers at the orphanage. This is inappropriate. Seeing this, Lao Shi finally gave up pretending. If you happen to fall deeply into the devil sect, with your talent, you will bring disaster to the mortals. Give up. The Lingxiao Palace is all around you. You can't win. However, Yichen's mind was made up. He must settle with Lingxiao, even risk his life, and Master Shi just realized that he was wrong since he chose Yichen. There. He's here. The long-awaited warrior party is finally here. The beautiful master, in order to celebrate Ling Xiao's victory, specially prepared 40 little junior martial sisters to celebrate the Ling Xiao banquet. But I never thought. The dress of my 3 female apprentices, one is cooler than the other, and in Gui Yurong and Lu Weiwei's eyes, the purest little junior martial sister, the most fabric on her body. Just now, Ling Xiao as a scumbag, at this time has completely made the realization of a scumbag. Thinking about bathing with 40 junior sisters, Ling Xiao couldn't help but feel. In order to relieve my inner guilt, he worshipped his parents far away in Lanqing. Parents still don't want to come back. It's really because passing on the family line is also important. Then he looked at himself in the mirror and couldn't help but sigh. This face, if he were in the entertainment industry in his previous life, I'm afraid he wouldn't have to practice. He could have debuted as the center in 2.5 years. I feel like I'm missing some accessories. He subconsciously turned his head and called out Huaijin's name, but realized that there was no one behind him. That's right, Ling Xiao hasn't gotten over losing Huaijin, so he can only hope that Zhao Qingdai can really help Huaijin reconstruct her physical body. Suddenly, the salted fish system excitedly handed out a reward to Ling Xiao. When I was a baddie before, Ling Xiao wanted to curse when he heard the system's voice. After all, I just wanted to die at that time. But now that I think about it, this kind of sublimation from the depths of one's soul is really too enjoyable. On the other side, Ling Xiao's 3 junior sisters can be said to have made full preparations for tonight's celebration banquet. The 3rd junior sister again inadvertently glanced at the body of the 2nd junior sister Gui Yulong. Suddenly jealousy came over her 2nd senior sister. Your body is really killing me. But Gui Yulong was extremely happy. It would be great if the eldest senior brother had such a thought as you. Yue Wei heard it again. Her face collapsed. The eldest senior brother is such a modest gentleman. How could I possibly like someone as arrogant as you? However, deep down, they both agreed on one thing. That's that our junior sister never fights with them for anything. Our senior brother is so well behaved. However, they were shocked to discover that the harmless junior sister actually wore the least amount of clothing. This isn't even the half of it. Their little fellow apprentice actually hoarded the big apprentice brother's socks, and even flaunted it in front of the 2 of them and said, "Look, the socks big apprentice brother gave me are so good looking. 2 of you in the room. Do either of you have them?" In the meantime, Song Lingfeng and Su Mei looked at the bustling Shenluan peak next door. He looked a little bit eager. Ling Xiao was appointed as the leader by Tai Wu Jinjuan. Li Xiao Shibua. I suppose you must be overjoyed about this. Xu Wanning was suddenly gloomy after hearing that. Brother Lin is really strong. I wish I could be his little junior sister too. That would be great. How long will it take someone of Ling Xiao's natural talent to catch up? He's half the age of the youngest of the Blue Lancers. I doubt anyone could beat him. Suddenly, Su Mei's tone changed. Your written test with Gui Yulong today. Did you go easy on him on purpose? Xu Wanning didn't dare answer. Su Mei pressed on. You've always been so competitive, don't want to be weaker than others. Can it be that in my heart there are some concerns? And what Su Mei didn't expect was that her own apprentice actually, for this matter, talked back to him once. Master, please don't ask anymore, okay? Let that stuff go, okay? Today's martial competition is your disciple's only chance in this life to follow your heart's desires. Please forgive me, Master. Su Mei was thrilled upon hearing this. Follow your heart, is it? You clearly love Ling Xiao, but you're too afraid to say it. I will accompany you to Mount Shenlun to propose to him today. You know you only let Gui Rong win once, out of respect for Ling Xiao. So today Ling Xiao has to respond to this. Zhu Waning's fair face flushed, but in her mind she was thinking, Master, you don't have to marry yourself just. Am I seeing things? Even the frigid master is wearing a swimsuit to participate. Just now, Ling Xiao just came to the Nushan cliff, was shocked by the scene in front of him. He once thought that he had opened it incorrectly. However, his junior sisters are too enthusiastic. The elder martial brother addressed him as Master Brother, which made the jerk Ling Xiao feel embarrassed. As all the junior martial sisters rushed towards Ling Xiao, Ling Xiao's forehead was drenched in cold sweat. Anyone witnessing this magnificent scene would be puzzled. Ling Xiao desperately stopped their lustful hands. I'm not that pervert Ling Xiao in the novel anymore. As a respectable young man of the 21st century, one must leave a good impression on these junior sisters. However, Ling Xiao could never resist their enthusiastic hospitality. But as soon as he stepped into the pool, he discovered that the entire pool of spiritual spring water was permeated with a rich, intoxicating aroma of alcohol. After inquiring, I found out it was our master who added a bit of fun on purpose. Ling Xiao couldn't help but sigh. Even King Zhou would call him an expert. However, before Ling Xiao had much of a chance to chat with the junior sisters, Chu Yue suddenly appeared and intends to dismiss the junior sisters who stay with Ling Xiao. Those junior sisters were naturally unwilling. Ling Xiao is the senior brother of all. Why does senior sister Chu want to drive us away? Of course, this has to mention Chu Yue's glorious incident before a junior sister just wrote a love letter to Ling Xiao, was sent by Chu Yue to the dangerous territory of Black River. Now paired with Chu Yue's sinister expression, those junior sisters left quite dejectedly. However, as soon as Chu Yue stepped into the pool, junior sister Lu Yin suddenly appeared and interrupted him. When he looked at the way Lu Yin was dressed, Ling Xiao said outright that her dress is more outrageous than Chu Yue's, and at this moment, the three of them must be pregnant. Similarly, before they could say anything, they were interrupted by the sudden appearance of second junior sister Gui Yulong. Just a second ago, she was
angrily scolding, "My junior sisters don't understand you at all." And now she's leaning on her eldest senior brother. The next second, it's time for something delicious. Only then did Ling Xiao realize that the three junior sisters came prepared. However, what he didn't know was that his chilly master had also come prepared. She even instantly killed all the junior sisters present. Ling Xiao froze at the scene.
Xiao Honglin watched Ling Xiao and in the pool, seen as three female disciples. Shi Feng Mao suddenly a girl. Look at the teacher and wait but do not salute. For a moment, all the female disciples present greeted Xiao Honglin. Kowtow to Ling Xiao is naturally no exception. It's just that she can't figure it out. The master who never cares about these trivial matters. Why are you being so formal tonight? If you look closely, you'll see that Ling Xiao knows that her master is jealous. And Xiao Honglin saw the three get away from Ling Xiao. Her face finally improved a little. At a large celebration banquet, have a cup of tea, indulging in the feast. Great pleasure. Seeing the exceptional beauty of the moment, Ling Xiao decided to play a piece for his master and junior sisters. A song called May We Live Long and Well. The junior sisters were mesmerized by the song. Moved by Ling Xiao's gorgeous singing, they couldn't resist accompanying him. Gui Rong couldn't help dancing either. But at this moment Ling Xiao took a quick glance behind her. Suddenly, Master Shizun's eyes were fixed on him like a statue. What an evil contrast. Ling Xiao had no power to resist. However, just when everyone was intoxicated in this beautiful moment, suddenly, two figures emerged in the sky. Junior sister Hongming, you have to answer to me. These people are precisely Su Mei and Xiao Honglin, who intended to propose to Ling Xiao. Xiao Honglin pretended to say, Senior Sister Su, you know perfectly well that tonight is the celebration of my Shenlun Peak. What is your purpose in coming here at this hour and interrupting? But Su Mei just wanted to pick a fight. Nature wouldn't retreat just because of a few words. He pulled Zhu Wanlin to Ling Xiao's side. He was about to explain everything to him in detail. When he saw his disciple acting timidly, he planned to have Zhu Wanlin personally confess what she did for Ling Xiao. What on earth had his foolish disciple done? Ling Xiao was utterly bewildered as he listened. He could never have imagined. Me and Zhu Wanling will have a relationship. Even in the original book, there aren't such outrageous plots. As Ling Xiao and Zhu Wanling look at each other, Zhu Wanling was shy immediately. Just said a sentence, Master. You really misunderstood me and Brother Lin. There is nothing between us. It's as clear as crystal. Xiao Hanolin saw Zhu Waning's little woman appearance, and felt that it would not be that simple. Similarly, the three fellow apprentices were harboring thoughts of their own. They were afraid that she had come to fight them for their senior apprentice brother. While Su Meiwu was unable to hold back her anger, she immediately stood up and questioned Zhu Waning. Our first stop on the dance trip today. You could have defeated your opponent with your instinct. However, in order to win over this man in front of you, you deliberately lost to his junior sister. Was it also to answer your master? Actually, Miss Su also had her own intentions. A genius like Ling Xiao, without Zhu Wanlin in the picture, he would also do anything he can to finish Ling Xiao. Whether to accept him as Feng Mingfeng's son-in-law, or as one's own husband, it depends on whether Zhu Wanlin will live up to expectations. When Xiao Hongling heard this, she immediately flared up. Mention whoever you want, but don't get involved with Ling Xiao. My disciple is invincible in the world. No need for others to give me victory. Ling Xiao actually announced his official girlfriend. It doesn't exist. Junior sister will show you. What does it mean to play at a high-end level? Just now, Sister Su brought Shu Wanning to the door to propose marriage. But my plan has not yet been mentioned. It's interrupted by Xiao Hongling. Gui Yurong had no choice but to reveal the matter upon seeing this. The truth is, with only the force of Gui Yurong, she's not a rival of Zhu Wanning at all. But Gui Yurong has still defeated Zhu Wanning. The reason for that is because Zhu Wanning intended to fulfill Ling Xiao. Let her fellow apprentice sister, Gui Yurong, win him once. But Gui Yurong has another reason for standing out now. That is, he also knows Ling Xiao will definitely not like Zhu Wanning, because he had once revealed his feelings to Ling Xiao. At that time, Ling Xiao was thinking about restoring the story, so I didn't reply. Of course, either did I refuse. Gui Rong does this. He wants Ling Xiao to make a public statement, but Ling Xiao is equally clear in his heart. He has already stayed in this world. He must give his feelings a place to stay. So he used the opportunity, pretending to scold Gui Rong. Don't let him tell others that he likes him, talking everywhere. However, with Ling Xiao's own confession, this is undoubtedly a slap in the face to the beautiful master. Zhang looked at Ling Xiao with disbelief. Need to know. That day, Ling Xiao also said to the beautiful master, will love him all her life. But at this time, Wu Yurong was very happy. He knew deep down that Ling Xiao's statement had undoubtedly killed off the two junior sisters who had feelings for him, and it was as he had thought. The two junior sisters had gloomy expressions after hearing Ling Xiao's announcement, but Gui Yurong was the one who found it hardest to accept. After all, he had come here for that very purpose, was about to propose marriage to Ling Xiao, but before the proposal could be made, Ling Xiao announced his girlfriend. Even though he was disappointed, he couldn't pretend like nothing had happened. In order to make himself look a little less pathetic, he thought about Shizun. Su Mei accompanied him to Shenlun Peak to congratulate Ling Xiao on winning the championship. Su felt sorry for her in her heart. As a woman, he knew it very well. To love a man who didn't love her. He hadn't had the time to comfort his silly apprentice, Xiao Hongling. He quickly volunteered to drink with him. Xiao Hongling has seen a lot, so naturally, she won't be bothered by a few words. So much so that the atmosphere in the entire room turns cold. After 2 glasses of wine, those tears just wouldn't stop flowing. At the same time, the same thing is happening to the 2 junior sisters. Ling Xiao naturally didn't know that. A few simple words from him hit the hearts of many women. With each jar of wine that he drank, even Xiao Hongling, who has an amazingly high alcohol tolerance, got a little tipsy. Ling Xiao was a little worried seeing this. He wanted to step forward to persuade her from drinking more. When he told the beautiful master to stop drinking, the scheming junior sister seized the opportunity to appear, because he knew that tonight would be his last chance. With a sad face, he told Ling Xiao that his beloved spirit beast was injured, and asked Ling Xiao to accompany him to have a look. Ling Xiao hesitated after hearing what he said, but the junior sister kept on pestering him. Asks Ling Xiao to accompany him. Wu Yurong, seeing this, also feels sorry for his junior sister, thinks about how he and Ling Xiao can accompany him. Junior sister is shocked. To stop her from ruining his plan, he says that the spirit beast has only seen his senior brother. He's afraid of strangers. To make his words more believable, he also started to sell dreams, and Ling Xiao, based on the principle that less is more, carelessly agreed. Little did he know that this one trip would completely change his life. After arriving at the place his junior sister mentioned, Ling Xiao had not yet seen the spirit beast. He heard a bird call first, and the young sister disciple followed Ling Xiao from start to finish, silently observing Ling Xiao's reactions, until Ling Xiao passed out completely. That's when he revealed his true nature. What he had previously called an injured spiritual beast was in fact a spellcasting demon king. I know all of you dislike the upcoming plot, so I'm gonna skip it for all of you. My fellow disciples finally discovered that Lu Yingying was acting strange, but they were a step too late. Just a moment ago, after Lu Yingying had hypnotized Ling Xiao, she brought him to the wooden house. At this time, Li Xiao can perceive, but he can't move an inch. He can only be at the mercy of Lu Yingying. After the 2.5 minutes of heavy rain outside, Lu Yingying gently leaned beside Li Xiao, saying sorry. Yet he realized it after the fact. He still discovered this deadly detail. It's through the ability of ghostly sounds. Although it can hypnotize people, their body and instincts are still somewhat reserved. That is to say, No matter what Lu Yinyin did, Ling Xiao knew it all. Just when Ling Xiao and Lu Yinyin didn't know how to face each other, Gu Yurong and Yu Weiwei came over. It's a lie to say that Lu Yinyin isn't panicking now. After all, Gu Yurong is Ling Xiao's official girlfriend. In the split second that the two of them burst through the door, Lu Yinyin hurriedly hid in the haystack behind the door. When they saw Ling Xiao lying on the floor, unconscious, the adults didn't have the time to check the condition of the room. After all, the eldest martial brother is the most important. But they also discovered, besides the wet water on Ling Xiao, there were no wounds at all. So, why did Ling Xiao pass out? Ling Xiao knew that if he pretended any longer, he would be found out. She blinked her eyelids slowly to have a look at her two junior sisters, telling them that she was not hurt. After accompanying Ying Ying to this place just now, she was attacked by a strange bird. When Ying Ying saw that I was knocked out, she must have come to avenge me. As for why we said that Ling Xiao was faking sleep, it was because after Lu Ying Ying said sorry to, when he already awake, haven't thought of what way to wake up yet. On the other hand, the second senior who was worried about the junior, as soon as he heard Ying Ying was going to face the monsters alone, decided to go and find Ying Ying. However, as soon as he turned, he was pulled by Weiwei. His face was heavy. He had already thought of the worst possible outcome. Li Xiao really got together with Gu Yurong. Cold and beautiful. Master can only use alcohol to numb him/herself to Ling Xiao indulgence. Just now, Yu Wei seemed to just have noticed junior sister apprentice's unusual behavior. According to Ling Xiao's description, he dares to be sure that the monster bird must be the energy of the Demon King, and the energy of the Demon King cannot possibly appear on this sacred peak. Only after the little junior sister had tamed it could it have silently evaded everyone's detection. But obviously, Gu Yurong is unwilling to believe that such an innocent and naive little junior sister could possibly have evil designs on Ling Xiao. Moreover, Ling Xiao has announced publicly that he is hers, and Weiwei hears, obviously also a little uncertain, although the truth is very likely to be like this. But for the simple-natured junior sister, would she really do this? Just as the two are talking, the little junior sister, hiding behind the haystack, knew that if she did not come out, she would really fall behind. And earlier, Ling Xiao had deliberately concealed this matter, although he really wanted to confess to the two worlds that he was the real Ling Xiao's woman. However, if this angered Ling Xiao, it would not be worth it. So, he repeated Ling Xiao's earlier explanation, while Gu Yulong and Yu Weiwei were full of doubts. But at the moment, the senior brother and the junior sister were both safe and sound. They have no intention of continuing to ask. Later, Gu Yulong planned to take Ling Xiao back to Minjia under normal circumstances, and Weiwei came over to help Ling Xiao up again. But what status could he use to take her? Now that the outcome was decided, he would be better to stop daydreaming. And all of this was watched by his little junior sister. If she had not acted first, she could have easily shared the same fate as her third senior sister. Once all four of them had returned to the Ivory Crescent after, Master looks at Ling Xiao with a serious face. Why did you take so long to go there? But Ling Xiao hasn't answered yet. Junior sister answers first, saying that it was she who made the mistake. These, green tea, remarks. Instead, Master doesn't know what to do to ease the embarrassment. He spoke hurriedly in order to continue the celebration. Ling Xiao, however, was somewhat worried about waking his master up when he heard that they were going to drink so late at night. Originally, World-Honored One also felt that Ling Xiao's words somewhat made sense. However, when he saw Gu Yurong holding on to Ling Xiao's arm, his expression suddenly dimmed. Why won't you comply? Didn't you say that you wouldn't return unless you were drunk? Su Mei naturally knew that Xiao Hongling was depressed because of love. She couldn't help but sigh softly. However, when Ling Xiao saw how determined his master was, he suggested that they play a little game as a team. Then he took out the heavenly secret plate and pushed it to Lin Li. He let the hand spin freely on the wheel. Pointing to letters means winning money. Pointing to empty spaces means losing money. And Master thought Ling Xiao was suggesting the group gamble. But Ling Xiao said in a righteous tone, "I'll never gamble. This little game is called Truth or Dare, a game from a previous life." Naturally, the junior sisters have never heard of it. They can only continue to let their senior brother explain. Point to a character, and you will pass. Next person, point to no character. L will have to choose Truth or Dare as a result. Master's classical Chinese is interesting, so he immediately took the lead in participating. Actually, he wishes to use this game to inquire whether Ling Xiao has him in his heart, and Ling Xiao wishes to extract from his master and junior sister some little-known secrets in their mouths. Lady Su actually wants to kiss Ling Xiao in front of Xiao Hongling just now, after Ling Xiao suggested a game of Truth or Dare. Unexpectedly, the first one to object was Su Mei, but under the offensive of Ling Xiao's eloquent tongue, Su Mei suddenly smiled and agreed. Then he asked Zhu Wanning behind him if he was interested in joining, but Zhu Wanning, at this moment, had not yet, from Ling Xiao's official announcement, returned to God and the incident of his girlfriend. I was going to decline, but unexpectedly, my sister beat me to it, and said yes on his behalf. And so, Ling Xiao decisively did a demonstration for everyone when the hand landed on. Sometimes, He immediately switched to the next person. When his younger sister saw this, she immediately said that she wanted to go first. But Ling Xiao couldn't meet her eyes. To be exact, junior sister is the first woman in his life. As junior sister cast the spell, the pointer quickly stopped at the wordless. Little did he know that all this was manipulated by Ling Xiao. And the master saw this and asked, "So Xiao Arian Jiangji, next, do you want to be in truth or dare? Choose one?" "Yes, master." Even when Ling Xiao answered the questions, he tried to avoid making eye contact with the little martial sister. The little martial sister chose truth without hesitation. He thought that Ling Xiao would ask who Ling Xiao liked most. A question like that. That way, he could confess to Ling Xiao openly and honestly. Before he could even start asking a question, Ling Xiao had already checkmated him. He knew that his junior sister truly loved him, so he told her that if he lied, then he, the questioner, would die an early death. Junior sister, she had been thinking about having more children with Ling Xiao in the future, so she immediately said that she would never lie to her senior brother. However, Ling Xiao's question stunned the junior martial sister for a moment. "Ying, have you ever successfully encountered an experience of the future?" This question also startled Gu Yurong and Yu Wei. The answer of the junior martial sister: "For your senior brother to answer, he must have had this experience. You should know that in their cognition, they have never thought about it. That others have also awakened their memory of the heavenly path." And the junior sister's answer also finally confirmed what Ling Xiao was thinking in his heart. Sure enough, this girl was not reborn. She just got a guarantee to see the future. Tonight, he Ling Xiao, be sure to get these. The woman who once stopped him from completing the plot. Rescue them all. And next is Zhu Waning's turn. But just when he was in a daze, Su Mei once again took a step ahead of him, because from Su Mei's point of view, he could more or less figure out that Ling Xiao had tampered with it. As he walked to the roulette, the energy in his fingers kept gathering, and the roulette kept spinning faster. When the pointer turned to a word, Xiao Hongling praised Su Mei for the results. But the pointer didn't stop completely. Amidst the horrified looks of the crowd, the pointer once again landed on the stain. Upon seeing this, Ling Xiao immediately asked Su Mei whether she preferred truth or dare, giving her no time to react. After Ying's turn, Su Mei was determined not to choose truth, so Ling Xiao asked him to randomly select one from the box as his mission. No matter which slip of paper he picked, he had to do as it said. However, something happened that no one expected. The slip of paper actually said to kiss one of the men present. However, at tonight's celebration banquet, but Ling Xiao is the only male. He's clearly the biggest loser in Shaluan Peak, yet he's the most popular with all the women in the sect. He was just confessed to by a widow, and it made the usually calm and collected Grandmaster jealous for him. Just now, Su Mei drew the sole male participant a love note. Ling Xiao was dumbfounded. He was the only man in the entire Shaluan Peak, and in this moment, the faces of the younger martial sisters, who secretly admired Ling Xiao, turned pale. They were truly afraid that Su Mei would actually follow the deal. And just as expected, things went the way that they feared most. Su Mei, the mistress of one letter. Nature is a true keeper of promises. He lifted Ling Xiao's small face on the spot. This really scared the little martial sisters. Just as they were about to step forward to stop him, they were pushed back by the master's aura. "I can see the master roaring at Xiao Er. Quickly send your master back to the cave. I don't want to play this game anymore." But Su Mei just smiled wickedly.
She kissed Ling Xiao on the cheek. This scene can be seen by all the junior sisters present. The innocent senior brother's first kiss, in public. The one who was most angry was the master. There was annoyance and resentment, but more of it was disbelief. But this was nothing to Su Mei. Instead, there's a more obvious hint of provocation. "Wanting, did you see
that? This is the charm of us women on Fengling Peak. We demand what we want." This double entendre. How could Zhu Wanning not understand? Sister Su is telling him, "If you like Ling Xiao, you should be honest like me." Zhu Wanning really didn't have as much of a thick skin as Su Mei. She simply replied with a dismissive, "Wanning understands," and then said nothing more. However, this scene made Gui Yurong absolutely furious. She dared to kiss Ling Xiao right in front of him? Did she even care that he was her real boyfriend? Seeing this, Ling Xiao hurriedly stepped in front of Gui Yurong. It's no wonder they say he's the scummiest of scum. He actually didn't consider his girlfriend at all. Instead, he suggested that Gui Yurong be more open-minded, that it was just a game. Seeing that a fight was about to break out, Su Mei immediately pulled her disciple and ran away. But she still turned back to Ling Xiao and gave him a meaningful wink. Ling Xiao's old face instantly flushed red. How could he not understand what Su Mei meant? As everyone watched Su Mei try to leave, Venerable Sect Master finally could not contain the grievance in his heart. He pulled Ling Xiao along and returned to his cave, not giving any face to the junior sisters present. And the two junior sisters who had always been competing for Ling Xiao finally understood it at this moment. In the end, what you were really angry about wasn't that Su Shibua, but that Chizun. But only junior Marshall's sister behaved as if it was none of her business, as if it didn't concern her at all, because she has already gotten what she wanted. Inside Chizun's cave, after Xiao Honglin returned to the cave, he did not care about his appearance, and flopped down on the bed. Ling Xiao hurriedly adjusted his sleeping position when he saw it, then carefully brought him a bowl of hangover soup. But Master suddenly grabbed his face, making Ling Xiao remember that as a child as soon as he said that, Ling Xiao's old face turned red. He seemed to have some memory. He tried hard to restrain the wayward thoughts. He pulled the quilt over his master. I immediately served Master the hangover soup. I seemed to notice Master was feeling sleepy. I got up again and chased away the plagues around Master. After chasing them away, I carefully sprayed insect repellent. Only then did I honestly guard Master's bedside. And this scene has happened countless times since I came to the mountain. It's no exaggeration to say, whenever the beauty master gets very drunk, this elder apprentice would, just like a close-knit nanny, sedulously took care of him. Whenever that happened, his heart would always surge with deep affection, because the master is the first person who treated him well since he came to this world. Without him realizing it, his filial piety towards Venerable One had undergone subtle changes. Even so, he did not have any evil thoughts toward Venerable One. If it was possible, he would not even mind if time stood still. He just wanted to quietly watch him for 1,000 years. I have been here for 10,014 years. The Honorable Lord doesn't seem to have changed much. She is still as beautiful as the first time I saw her in this world. I'm afraid there is no woman more beautiful than the Honorable Lord. At the moment when Ling Xiao touched the Honorable Lord's face, the Honorable Lord glanced at him. Ling Xiao explained, I just had you drink the hangover soup, 10 fragrant soup and only half a stick of incense. The efficacy of the medicine will help you to overcome the alcohol in your body, and you just need to be good and don't have to think about anything. Brew up and sleep for a while. But Xiao Hongling, after Sumei's incident, now just wants this apprentice to stay by her side, so that Ling Xiao wouldn't leave. She had Ling Xiao tell her a bedtime story like he did when they were children, but Ling Xiao refused, and slowly said, Master, let's talk about the past. Master, 14 years ago in the tavern in Peach Blossom Spring, how did you decide to pick me? When I descended the mountain, I felt you had potential as an actor, so I decided to take you in. Master, did you later think I was unusually talented and decide to raise me personally? Although I saw you had sufficient talent, I didn't plan to give up my dream of searching for the finest liquors. The thing that really changed my mind about you is that you risked your life to save that little girl from the bad guys, and that's why I decided to train you personally. Was impressed by your courageous spirit. Upon hearing this, Ling Xiao was surprised. It was only after that incident that Shizun developed a special affection for you that does not exist in the original text, which is why he would suggest the empowerment and create various enchantments to help me defeat Yi-chan. The fruit of hearing that really changed. Master, 14 years ago in the tavern in Peach Blossom Spring, how did you decide to pick me? When I descended the mountain, I felt you had potential as an actor, so I decided to take you in. Master, did you later think I was unusually talented and decide to raise me personally? Although I saw you had sufficient talent, I didn't plan to give up my dream of searching for the finest liquors. The thing that really changed my mind about you is that you risked your life to save that little girl from the bad guys, and that's why I decided to train you personally. Was impressed by your courageous spirit. Upon hearing this, Ling Xiao was surprised. It was only after that incident that Shizun developed a special affection for you that does not exist in the original text, which is why he would suggest the empowerment and create various enchantments to help me defeat Yi-chan. The fruit of today was truly planted by my own hand yesterday. As Ling Xiao was about to say something, Shizun had already fallen asleep, listening to those screams. Ling Xiao did not expect the stunningly beautiful and noble fairy Hong Ming to also snore while sleeping. Then, he leaned over and kissed his master's forehead. Good night, master. May you have beautiful dreams. The great villain of destiny, Ling Xiao, begins the mystical Heaven's Path trial, and the venerable saint even made the charm especially to help Ling Xiao cheat secretly, but he refused it in his later years, and Fanggu Zai Yejun regenerated his broken arm and fell with no self-respect to worship Yuan Lao as his father. Zhao Shoming trembled. The leader of the sect has ordered that this conference will have 5 rounds. Shenlun Feng's chief disciple Ling Xiao, go to Taitseng Mountain immediately and pay our respect to Tai Wuzhenjuan. The sky is the roof, and the hand is the hall. Yefuchen, the impersonator, is complaining to his master. Have you heard? That jerk Ling Xiao. He has actually gained the favor of the true monarch Taiwu. The person who was originally supposed to accept Tai Wuzhenjuan's inheritance should have been me. Yi-chan gave a satisfied smile. If you can receive patronage from that big shot, then what is Ling Xiao to you? Yi-chan's spirits lifted. He thought that his chance to humiliate Ling Xiao was right before his eyes. He gritted his teeth. He bowed and thanked Shizun for his recommendation. If that adult would accept him as a disciple, I, the Lion King of Beichuan, yes Hen, am willing to take you as my adoptive father. On the other side, Li Xiao was preoccupied after hearing the news. It seems that before the 8 great demonic gates, the sword seed instance is finally about to open. I'm afraid there will be a big mess today. Ling Xiao came to the sleeping bodhisattva. He carefully placed the lovingly prepared Tianzhou by his side. Should you pay a visit to Taoist Master Taiwu, your disciple should do everything he can to win favor from our old friend. After Ling Xiao goes away, Yuji appears suddenly and wakes up Xiao Hongling, who pretends to sleep. Yuji glances at Tianzhou on the table. He didn't know that this brat Ling Xiao would turn out to be a nice guy. He finally understands. Why does Xiao Hongling treat Ling Xiao so preferentially? Furthermore, she made a teasing remark that they would be the best in the future. Master Wen Yan, the beautiful teacher, blushed with shame in an instant. The second child of the Xiao family has always respected his teacher since he was a child. Do not distort his intentions. Yuji grinned. In our first play, you respected the master too much. You don't even know how many times you kissed me secretly. Xiao Hongling was anxious at once, said that she would naturally teach Ling Xiao well in the future. Hearing this, but Yuji smiled more charmingly, instantly understood. Xiao Hongling was both ashamed and angry. I can't stand the look on your face. I reach out and push Yuji back into the sword type. Since Yuji has gone too far in her joke, I quickly explained to her to let her see her own heart. Is it so difficult to admit that you are in love with Ling Xiao? You have done all kinds of evil things in this life. You have taken countless geniuses as your subordinates. Are you still afraid to face your own heart? Xiao Hongling is also confused, although he has a crush. But in what capacity can he compete with those girls in their prime? Yuji saw it, hurriedly stepped forward with a charming look and tempted him. Unexpectedly, the great immortal Jing also became a matchmaker.
Xiao Hongling looks shy, changing the subject deliberately. Let's go back to our discussion about meeting again soon, and thoroughly plunder abandoned Night Rhythm's resources. At the same time, Ling Xiao has already arrived at the foot of Taitsung Mountain. Looking at such a magnificent, ethereal cultivation holy land, Ling Xiao couldn't help but be amazed. Taitsung Mountain, Taitsung Mountain.
Sure enough, it's as high class as described in the original work. I wonder how many steps he can take on this Xiantian Tao Street. In the original, Li Yechen only reached the 360th street with the help of Elder Shi, taking second place in history. As for first place, of course it's Jin Gu, who guards the Sherman Peak. Meeting the first person, my beautiful master is now an adult. Now Ling Xiao is a great villain destined by heaven. The level is different from the past. At the very least, you should be able to climb 100 steps. Right? Right then. The slingshot, one of the 6 victories. Qingyin suddenly appears in front of Ling Xiao. He didn't appear in the A plot. Are we picking up Yichin? At this time Tantai Qingyin took the initiative to walk over and hand over a talisman. Ling Xiao also didn't expect that this evil saint would secretly cheat for him. Thinking about it, there is only one possibility, that it is the third junior sister who asked the evil saint for it. Thinking of this, Ling Gao's fighting spirit is high, declined Yin Sheng's good intentions, and stated that she wanted to, through her own efforts, meet Martial Emperor in this profound heavenly path street. Having said that, she bypassed the other person and stepped onto the first path street. Just then, a terrifying animal roar reached heaven and earth. A being with a violent and terrifying aura, a monstrous beast engulfed in flames experiments, descends from the sky, gnashing its teeth. Ling Xiao looked pleased. Holding the long sword, Yun Mengzi came to fight. Stunning baby came. Ling Xiao originally wanted to use the law of war and the 5 elements suggestions with the large 5 elements destroyer, but he still only draws upon the law of steel and the 5 elements suggestion of Yichin, and has yet to master the great 5 elements destruction shift. So Ling Xiao planned to change to another sword. Then a sudden flash of brilliance reminded him of the beautiful teacher's awe-inspiring, beautiful divine sword. Ling Xiao's eyes met with the 2 grinning bodies. In the palm of Jian's hand, the soldier's sword also catalyzed to the extreme. With all his might, he swung his sword horizontally at the incoming crimson acid mud. Freeze everything. Great red chain ice will complete. An incredibly powerful sword energy instantly extinguished all the crimson acid mud's flames. Completely frozen, it has become a natural ice sculpture of great artistic skill. But Tai Qingyin cannot help but sigh. This place really does have the talent of a unicorn. No wonder Wei Wei was so obsessed with him.